Hey guys, Kapper here, January 22nd, 2019. And you're not going to believe it, I found a person on our property who'd been out here all night. But here's how the story goes. My wife saw fresh tracks on her way out from work this morning in the driveway. So I came out here a little while later. I was going to be leaving. So I started tracking them. They came all the way from the pole barn, and they were headed out towards the road. So let me show you a clip of that. All right, here's these tracks fresh on the 22nd of January. Looks like they were dragging something. Here's the pond. In the middle there you can see drag marks. And the origination is by the pole barn. There's no other tracks. That's where they start, almost like somebody was dropped off. And then as I'm following the tracks, out of the corner of my eye, I see a guy tucked up next to a tree. Just sitting there with something covering his head, and he's got to be freezing. So let me show you what happened next. What do you mean going for a walk?
Just thought I'd get out and go for a walk.
Where do you live?
Downtown.
Downtown where? What's your name? Are you okay, man?
Yeah, I just wanted to get away from my wife for a while.
Okay. Are you cold, man?
Yeah, I am.
You're not in any trouble, are you?
No.
You're not running from the cops or anything like that?
Oh, no.
No? All right. And you walked all the way out here from...
I had a friend drop me off.
Okay, that's what it looked like by the tracks. They drop you off up here by the barn?
Out down this way.
Did you walk in my driveway or come in another way?
I'm not sure, sir. I've had a rough night.
Okay. Let me give you my jacket. I got an extra jacket here.
Oh, that'd be great, sir. Thank you.
And let me see, make sure everything's all right at your house there. There ain't nothing, bad going on.
No. I ain't how women are.
Well, I suppose. All right, here.
Thanks, sir.
How come you're covering your face?
Oh, I'm just trying to stay warm, sir. She took everything I had, kind of left me high and dry.
All right, put that on, man, the right way. You want to come sit in my truck for a minute?
No, sir, it's be fine. Thank you, sir.
Can I see your face? So I know who you are? You're on my property. I mean, are you all right, man?
Don't take no pictures of me, sir.
All right, well, I just want to know that you ain't trying to steal something, that's all.
No.
So then I called the sheriff's department. I mean, I offered the guy, I had a conversation with the guy, tried to give him a ride, tried to let him warm up, something. So I just left him. I called the sheriff. You got to be really cautious when you come upon strangers, especially when, in law enforcement, we'd call them an EDP, emotionally disturbed. Now, that's not a bad thing, people, before you jump to conclusions. It's just every human being gets emotionally disturbed in their life. 100% never fail. Every single person. You have a divorce. You had a car wreck, you got broke up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, or you didn't get into college, you had a fight with your mom, your husband, so he was upset is what it really means is all. And I did a field interview basically of him on there. I'm fortunate I have experience with this kind of stuff, but if you ever come across it, you really want to be careful and always pay attention to their hands, pay attention to body movements and such, because you just never know what their intentions are. So the sheriff's on the way. I'll let them deal with it from here, but I gave him my coat, hat, and gloves because the poor guy, he's going to freeze to death. All right, looks like they're here.
County 44-6, got a car loaded. Go ahead, 4.
The deputy's following me back because it was just easier that way, trying to describe where the guy was at, because we got a mile-long road here. All right, so keep in mind as I'm driving down my road here, I'm constantly scanning left and right for either a new set of tracks or obviously for him. He's now wearing my black jacket, black hat and gloves, so he'd be pretty easy to see if he did take off and he wasn't in a condition probably not to get very far. Kind of scanning the woods. Sitting there. And if this right here is one of the most dangerous times for a police officer, is making the first contact. Okay, that's one of the most dangerous times. So they're basically going to remove them from the property and go from there.
Go ahead. 1029 Illinois, last name.
Lied to me.
Common spelling.
Oh, his
Middle
name.
initial. Be male, white, date of birth.
Clear, valid.
10-4, be back out.
Okay, so the guy was clear, no warrants, and he had a valid driver's license. Okay, and you'll see I turned the camera off in just a second here. That's because when the guy was standing up, he fell down and I had to go and help the deputy get him into the truck. Okay, so the sheriff has him. He's going to remove him from the property. I told him he can keep the jacket, hat, and gloves if he's, financially having hardships, and he was very appreciative. I gave the deputy 20 bucks and buy the guy a hot meal, and he's gonna take him back into town. And of course I said if everything's legit, if the story is legit. It's always something, man, when you're way out in the sticks. It's always something. All right. And the deputy agreed that there was something going on with that gentleman.
Go ahead. Be giving that gentleman a ride into town, beginning mileage 110444. 110444.
Okay, so just for reference, I'm going to show you that Mrs. Kapper drove right by this guy. And Mrs. Kapper got out of her car to take these pictures and send them to me of his footprints. So he could have been literally a very close distance from her if he was in that location. Probably within 3 or 4 feet this morning when she alerted me to the footprints. So this tree you see right here on the right next to the road, that's where he was sitting, right at the base of the tree. And as you come around this corner, that's literally maybe 5 feet, 6 feet from the road. And she did not see him. It was probably a little bit dark, but that's just a reference how close he was that she drove right by him, and he was hiding next to that tree. And that's the end of that story for now anyways. Hopefully, guy never shows up again, but I just think it's a little unusual he lands right back at our place. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not.